With Season 1 Reloaded coming up next week, I want to take a look at something we usually do with seasonal updates, but have yet to do with Season 1. Leaks. Today we're taking a look at and discussing a few things of interest that you may want to know about in regards to upcoming content that doesn't appear to have been announced just yet. So as we go along, drop your thoughts down below on what you'd like to see coming in the future here with either Season 1 Reloaded, Season 2, or beyond. Let me know and make sure to drop a like on the video if you enjoy it, and make sure to subscribe to stay up to date with all things Black Ops 6 as we gear up for even more upcoming content next week and beyond. I'd love to have in the community as we chase down 700,000 subscribers. Finally, my friends over at Gamer Advantage are having some incredible Black Friday and weekend deals going into Cyber Monday, so make sure to check them out, but more on that a little later. For now, let's get into it. So firstly, as with all leak videos, a few disclaimers, a few housekeeping items. First, we're talking about this stuff. Any images associated with leaks, we unfortunately can't put up on screen, so if applicable, there will be links below, but just know that images and such won't be in video. Second, this information comes from a handful of leakers who've been around on the scene for a little while now, including Semtex Leaks, Reality UK, and Forward Leaks, all linked down below. And finally, leaks like this appear out of the game files. They're a snapshot in time of development and the processes behind them. Use this as a benchmark and recognize what has been worked on in the past for the title, but not always using it as an indication that it's 100% coming. Things are subject to change in development. Either things may be altered, things could be cut entirely, or maybe they're exactly as they appear in the game files and they are just genuinely coming in the future. We just don't know exactly when. But it should be noted and acknowledged that sometimes things can change. Just bear that in mind. But housekeeping items out of the way, let's talk about what's leaked thus far, which surprisingly, Black Ops 6 has been pretty good at playing shutdown defense on leaks compared to years prior. Seems like they're finally learning with the COD HQ and not everything is linking to future builds, leaking everything from their own games. But there's still a nice few things to discuss. Firstly, let's talk about multiplayer. A lot of this comes down to multiplayer modes and leaks for the future, where the most recent of those has been the mention of the reintroduction of Sharpshooter, a mode that was a classic back in the day with Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 1, which blows my mind to think about that it's been that long since we've seen it, but it's still fresh in my mind, so a fun one that I think a lot of people will enjoy. This, if you aren't familiar, is a mode where players end up having all the same guns to use, infinite ammo, and it's basically just, hey, you're all using the same build, who can get the most kills? It's a free-for-all type mode, but after every 45 seconds of gameplay, the weapons that players are using swap out to something else. Again, everyone still has the same weapons, so it's all equal playing fields, but the draw would be that there's no way to predict what weapon would be next, so it's genuinely all just luck of the draw. What's more interesting is that your first 4 kills, if you can go on a kill streak, end up giving you bonus effects here. Black Ops 1, it would give you Sleight of Hand Pro after 1 kill, Lightweight Pro after 2, Steady Aim Pro after 3, and 2x Score after 4 and beyond. Black Ops 2 was similar, where it would give you Toughness, Lightweight, Extreme Conditioning, and then double score for those first 4 kills and beyond. So both offering mobility and handling attributes that made you a bit tougher to kill and maybe just gave you that sort of boost to your gameplay experience, but looking forward to that one coming. Another fun party mode that, again, as we've talked about before, I feel like can then start to bolster out a party mode's mosh pit, but that might be getting too far ahead of ourselves. It's also been previously mentioned we'll see things like Fireteam, with a new variation called Fireteam Incursion, previously cut content from Black Ops Cold War that are in the files for Black Ops 6, Hijack, More Battles, Rogue Rounds, Sugar Rush, Tag Trap, and War Games are all brand new modes that were also found in the game files. Those all having minimal details on them and their inclusion, but they are mentioned in the game files. Notably, Fireteam was in there, where that's of course a larger scale combat than what we have on any of the sort of offering with Black Ops 6 so far, and we don't even have any big maps this year, so how would that really work out? Well, firstly, it was mentioned that post-launch larger scale combat was not off the table, if my memory serves me correctly. It was just one of those things that when talking about like ground war and comparable game modes, it wasn't going to be coming at launch. So maybe, again, this does end up holding true, where we end up getting something that accommodates Fireteam in this new Fireteam Incursion version, but there also is the possibility it could be something like Arms Race and Vanguard, where it's added, but then literally never updated. So we'll have to wait and see, but what I think could easily work, especially if we aren't seeing it this year, is if we end up getting portions of Avalon, sort of ground war style maps from the upcoming Warzone Battle Royale map, because, I mean, Avalon was meant to happen this year, and then Verdansk came in and kind of messed everything up, as we've talked about plenty of times, so that'd be pretty cool to see, and of course would give us larger scale areas of combat to work with for a fire team variation here of this. But would it get the green light from the publisher end? Probably not, just because it's still, again, unreleased content upcoming, but we'll have to wait and see. One of the, if not the holiday event for Call of Duty this year ended up getting some stuff leak out, where it's quite possible this is the Archie's Festive Frenzy event that we already see kind of previewed in-game because of the Reflexes perk in Warzone. It's possible it's part of that and launches with Season 1 Reloaded, but we do know that we end up having another event that is going to be challenge-based across multiplayer, Battle Royale, and Zombies, with challenges likely for each of those designated modes, not having to go across each of those, because that wouldn't really be fair to free-to-play users, since you don't have access to multiplayer or Zombies if you're a Battle Royale Warzone player. But the rewards we ended up seeing, there were two blueprints, one for the Ames 85 and the Marina SP. Likely one of those, if not both of those, are probably going to be the completion reward. We end up seeing the Humbug emblem, Punch calling card, Shadows calling card, Glare calling card, Greetings and Hunt calling cards, and a holiday sticker included with some of these rewards. Again, notably some more smaller stuff. I still would love to see some camos thrown into events here in the future, but this kind of stuff will of course come along with those challenges, and the event as itself will likely, as mentioned, include Nuketown Christmas, the holiday variation here of this. Jingle Hells was also apparently going to be returning to Zombies, where the differences with that obviously are thematic changes for the holidays. The mystery box wasn't in the map in Black Ops Cold War, with presents dropping random rewards like equipment and guns back then as well. Snowballs added in that would stun zombies. So that kind of stuff seems to be returning here with the holiday event, as does the holiday themed versions of Urzikstan and Area 99. I'm thinking it's probably going to be similar to what we saw last year at the holiday event for Warzone overall. Zombies in general, there were a few unreleased gobblegums that were leaked, where it's Quacknarok, which is looking to turn zombies into zombies but with duck floaties on them, naturally a whimsical designation of rarity, and an unknown gobblegum similar apparently to Hidden Power, which upgrades your weapon's rarity, but instead this unknown gobblegum has suggested that it should be for a special ability. So a little vague, but interesting no less. And then Warzone to round out the leaks that we know of at the moment. One thing in the game files was Clash, which apparently looks to return at some point. That was something we saw in Caldera Season 2 within Vanguard's Year of Support, where that was a 52v52 playlist that was a large-scale TDM, of course, largest we've seen in any capacity, and we've seen this a couple of different times across subtle differences in Warzone since Verdansk days in the original Warzone experience in 2020. Honestly though, I love these big game modes. A lot more chill, I feel like, and I think it's awesome because it introduces some of the classic Call of Duty modes and formulas into a Warzone designation, where a lot of the free-to-play players can kind of get a feel for that cross combination of what they have with Warzone, but also some of the more core tenets of what Call of Duty is. Also with this in particular, I think it's going to be incredible for camo grinding. More of a large-scale team deathmatch where all the combat is going to be focused in one sort of area rather than all over the place like you'd see in Plunder with Urzikstan, or a lot smaller in terms of player counts for things like Resurgence, still spread out quite decently. So that'll be pretty awesome to see for camo grinding. I do wish that we'd see the return of the Purgatory mode that we saw in Season 6 with Modern Warfare 3. Genuinely had a ton of fun with that. There was zero care for anything, massive timers on the game modes themselves. So I just thought that was an awesome sort of mode to mess around with. And again, that would be incredible for camo grinding as well. And the final thing was the designation in the game files for maps returning. There's apparently mentions of Fortune's Keep and Vondel returning at some point here throughout Black Ops 6's Year of Support, and that Warzone support as well, which would be a wild rotation to have, I think. Rebirth Island, Area 99, Fortune's Keep, and Vondel. Having 4 maps on rotation would be interesting, where you end up having, like, just once an hour the ability to play Rebirth Island or whatever map you wanted of your own choosing. That would be interesting. Also, imagine if they throw Sheikah Island back in there just for good measure, saying, hey, everything's here. I would be curious to see, in terms of talking about map rotations, if we do see something in the future with big map rotation, because obviously in terms of taking up file sizing and space of your storage, that is a lot larger of an undertaking, given the maps are like 5 times the size of a Resurgence map, if not more. So would we see something like Verdansk and Avalon come this time next year? we'll have to wait and see. But those were the leaks that we ended up seeing here for Black Ops 6 thus far, with an update coming as of next week. I wouldn't be surprised if we end up seeing even more leak out in the near future, but for now, that's the stuff you should be aware of. So before we wrap everything up, it's now officially the holiday season. So if you're looking for either a nice deal for yourself or a stocking stuffer gift for someone in your life, my friends over at Gamer Advantage have you covered, especially this weekend. There's a site-wide discount all weekend long until the end of Cyber Monday, where everything is 35% off, and Code Espresso can stack on top of that to give you 45% off everything. But each day there's specific deals where right now the Inferno and Horizon frames today are 40% off, again 50% with Code Espresso. Personally, my favorite frames are those Horizon ones, so great choice there. There's additional deals throughout the weekend, and then Cyber Monday includes 50% off with, again, a 10% stacking boost to 60% off the Diablo and Slave frames. So if there's ever a time to check out what I firmly believe are the best blue light glasses on the market, now's that time. I've said it for years and stick by it. They are the most lightweight, comfortable, and durable frames on the market. So at the very least, if you'd like to check out what they have and what they're all about, check the link in the description below where they can better break down the science, and all way better than I could. But if you're looking to pick something up for yourself, or again, as perhaps a stocking stuffer gift, now's as best a time as any. And make sure to use Code Espresso for an additional 10% off the already best deals of the year. So that said, that's where we're gonna wrap it up. Let me know your thoughts down below. Anything of these leaks you guys like, drop your thoughts. But if you enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single thing running all things Black Ops 6 as we gear up for Season 1 Reloaded next week and beyond. I'd love to have you in the community. But for now, thanks so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care and peace.